Hey you guys, so before I get into the video, I just want to give you guys a little bit of a backstory behind why in some of the videos you see I will sometimes have the sunglasses on and why sometimes I might not wear them. The reason why I like to wear the sunglasses is because I'm actually a huge Aaliyah fan, so you may see me wearing these sunglasses from time to time. I'm an absolute huge Aaliyah fan. I don't think anybody's a bigger fan than what I am when it comes to her, but to really now get into the video, sorry about that. I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys a little bit about black capitalism and why black celebrities like Jay-Z, Oprah, and other black elites are not going to save you. And this is a video I've actually been wanting to make for a while because it is important for us to focus on the issues that adversely impact our community. And I feel like when it comes to the leaders in our community or the appearance of what's supposed to be a leader, we see that time and time again, they do everything to work against the betterment of our people. And I've seen this happen so many times, like numerous times. And while it may seem like that these people are uplifting us, they're more symbolic of a dream that's unrealistic. Typically, the average Black American will not attain the status of a celebrity or someone with high amounts of wealth. But we see that when it comes to the wealthiest of the celebrities in our community. So when you look at people like Oprah, P. Diddy, Jay Z, notice how it seems like that even with the presence of these Black celebrities, our community still remains in a stagnant stage. And there's a reason I made my video of Black generational wealth first before I made this video, because I wanted to open your eyes to the selflessness that our Black leaders had back then. So if you guys had watched my Black generational wealth video, you know that I had made mention of O.W. Gurley, which is a Black man who is credited as the founder of Black Wall Street. And what he did was he put all of his money and resources on the line for black people to be able to flourish financially and economically so they could live an easygoing life without being dependent on the larger society. And when I look at our leaders from that time and then I look at, I guess, what are supposed to be our leaders today, quite frankly, I don't call them leaders because celebrities leading a community while they invest in other communities in doing little to nothing for their own is hardly anything of leadership, in my opinion. I don't really see any comparison. And the black leaders from Black Wall Street were invested in their community. They had a vision that black people could practice effective group economics by supporting each other and their businesses so we could all be successful without the dependency of another economic structure. And notice another thing too. Other races of people don't have celebrities at the forefront for their as their spokesperson. They have successful political figures or scholars that have their community's race in mind. And obviously they won't come right out and say that they're race loyal, but you can kind of look at what they invest their time and money into to make that determination. And then when you turn and look at our community, we have people like the Jay-Z's, T.I., Oprah, Diddy, Michael Jordan, etc. And if you guys notice, our community is still in the same state that it has been for over 400 years. And this just alone goes to show how, in the realm of black capitalism, these celebrities don't seem to share the same sentiments as you when it comes to elevating the black community. I mean, if you guys think about it, they could collectively put their money together and build hospitals. They could create health insurance programs for black people who may have trouble affording reasonable health insurance premiums. I mean, I don't know if any of you have ever experienced any kind of like issues where maybe you had some kind of health insurance, but maybe the premium was just so high that you weren't able to have continuous health insurance. And so, unfortunately, maybe the plan that you may have had might have just lapsed as a result of you not being able to afford the plan. Because obviously, if it comes between you paying a health insurance premium and having a place to live or some other majorly important bill that needs to be paid, of course, you're going to have to make sure that your money goes all into that before anything else. So I bring that up for a reason. And they could do other things too. I mean, not even just in that realm. If they wanted to go another alternative, they could do things like create schools in black areas where resources are dwindling or non existent. And I want to really place the most emphasis on this one, especially because if you guys have actually been keeping current on my videos, you'll know that not too long ago, I actually had given commentary on the school to prison pipeline and how black students are disproportionately affected the most. And even another thing to think about, if we exclude these few, there are still 10 black other billionaires in this world that I had researched. So my question is, why don't these other billionaires do anything to combat the oppressive system that we're in currently, if not these ones? And notice how these celebrities have the annoying habit of pretending to sympathize with you. They'll say things on social media like using certain hashtags like Black Girl Magic, hashtag Black Excellence. And here's the thing, I'm not saying they can't use it, but we say these things for the black people who don't have millions of dollars in their account to celebrate whatever accomplishment they achieved. These black celebrities emulate the culture of the lower class, make it their own, and then they monetize and exploit your struggles for their gain while experiencing none of your anguish. Now, before anyone comes here and attempts to justify it by saying that some of these celebs went through a period of struggle, therefore they can identify, I am saying that if that is the case, then surely they would not want to see their fellow brother or sister go through the same struggle. And I remember not too long ago commenting on a post about this issue, and I said that these black elites are not doing anything to elevate the community to a better place in terms of things like economics and education. And neutrality in a time of oppression is complicity in white supremacy. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. We can't deny that this type of behavior proves to be more of a hindrance than a benefit. And here's the thing, when I see Jay Z, people like Jay Z making a deal with the NFL to create a larger business profit for himself, all I see is selfishness, betrayal, greed, all of the qualities that an oppressive race of people would have. Again, I reminisce to a time where O.W. Gurley, the Black Wall Street owner, had none of these qualities. He was selfless and did everything he could to benefit his people collectively and with the intended purpose of longevity to ensure that his success created like a trickle down effect for black people to benefit from. And these so-called leaders don't possess any of these characteristics, the ones from today. So you have T.I. sitting over here elevating white people to a higher standard because, according to his logic, this is what he said not too long ago, black people would basically be better off if we had one of them in our family. Keep in mind that not once, whenever he was making these statements, did he mention anything about properly vetting their character. Because if you guys think about it, for all we know, a racist serial killer could be in a black family by T.I.'s logic, because basically, if you think about it, hey, as long as it's a white person, who cares, right? And look at the value and praise that he places on them. Then you have people like Michael Jordan looking down on his own people in a condescending way, only further contributing to the problem by creating shoes and other merchandise intended for black people. And then when he gets what he wants, the black dollar, doesn't do a thing to my knowledge. This is just to my knowledge. I mean, if he did, then please correct me in the comments section. But he doesn't do anything to reinvest that money back into our community. And then lastly, you have Oprah with all of her endorsements and money, painting black men and women in a negative light. She did Monique wrong by going behind her back and requesting to speak with, I think it was a family member, despite Monique saying no. She didn't give Oprah permission to do that, but she still went ahead and did that anyway. And then she did Janet Jackson and Michael Jackson wrong by making that horrible documentary about Michael Jackson, which, you guys, I'm a huge Janet Jackson and Michael Jackson fan, so I did take that to heart. I did not like when Oprah did that. I mean, I understand she's had things that she's done before in the past, and, obviously we've kind of side-eyed her, but that was kind of like the tip of the iceberg for me. I was just kind of like, yeah, I really cannot get behind this woman. And I don't know exactly what it was that she was trying to accomplish with that, but from my understanding, I think that it was actually a failure. I think that they had to end up just canceling the project altogether. So yeah, again, that I'm pretty sure it did not also sit too well with Janet Jackson because, obviously that's her brother. But Oprah will remain silent when it comes to her friend Harvey Weinstein, who has multiple women coming forward saying that he was sexually inappropriate with them. It is utterly ridiculous, you guys, and I honestly don't even have the words for it. I wanted to make you aware to this for those who have expectations to be like these black elites. I mean, my thing is, it's fine to have a dream, but not one that is so distorted that it acts as an impairment to our people collectively. I mean, here's the thing: you should want to aspire to be someone who your own race of people look up to, someone that not only sympathizes with your struggle, but they also are able to understand because they've actually lived your experience. And I understand that there are some that actually have lived the experience, but what I'm trying to say is, someone that sympathizes with your struggle, but does things to help improve the condition of the situation that you're in. And these black celebrity leaders currently do not exemplify any of these qualities. And to me, when you have people who look like you, but do not share the same feelings as you, but want to make money off your struggle without including you, what does that say about a person's leadership style? What does it say about their character? And I think when we don't stop to ask ourselves these questions and give blind support, it's a recipe for disaster. We only end up hurting ourselves in the end because we have these expectations and then become infuriated and disconcerted when the result we didn't desire manifests itself, and we only really have ourselves to blame for that. Now, before I end this video, I want to also turn you guys' attention to something else that's been bothering me. And you guys, it becomes tiresome when we address the social issues we face because I feel like it stems from one centralized point, which is conditioning through psychological manipulation, obviously from systemic oppression. I mean, I think that we all kind of know this at this point, but the comments on social media when black people shame other black people for proposed solutions, when I left that comment about how these black celebs could be doing things, I was met with ridicule and criticism, which is to be expected. One person told me that the money they have concerning the black elites, the money that they have is theirs, and we should work hard to get to their level. Another person asked me, what am I doing to address this issue? And to be honest, it was so annoying. I'm sure I'm not the only one who was met with such resistance. The thing about it is, you can expect normal resistance from the dominant society, but when it comes to your own people, it's kind of like an abnormal feeling. I don't know if you guys, I mean, I'm sure you guys know the state of our community, so you're kind of used to, occasionally getting that pushback from your own people, but I don't know. Does it feel abnormal to you guys? Because to me, it just feels really weird. You have somebody that looks like you and they're going so hard against you. And that to me, it still kind of bothers me. But one thing is that I find to be sad is you start to become slowly desensitized to it because you just kind of know that there's always going to be that one black person that is going to disagree with you, regardless of what logical explanations you're able to provide. Now, already I have talked about this behavior in previous videos where black people will engage in these shaming tactics or they'll deflect and try to make it about you when the conversation is centered around a particular topic. And I propose that we stop doing that, obviously. If you simply cannot provide a more effective solution to a problem, then there's no need to respond because all you're doing is engaging in counterproductive rhetoric, and we constantly remain basically back at square one with no progress. And I want to actually go ahead and provide a solution to this. I want to actually help you guys in debunking some of these talking points as a means of corrective behavior for black people looking for a way on how to deal with these tedious discussions. So, okay, let's go ahead and start with the first talking point that I was talking about. So, the infamous line that you guys, I'm pretty sure, hear, the money is theirs, they worked hard for it, get on their level. Okay, so for this one, you can respond with, yes, I understand that they worked hard for their money and they can spend it however they like, but what is this person doing to benefit the black community on a collective level? And if it was so simple to get on their level, why are there only 13 black billionaires out of the billions of other black people on this planet? If they cannot respond to your questions without using ad hominems or the discussion becoming filled with contention, then just disengage and no longer entertain them. I can guarantee you guys that ignorance and cognitive dissonance almost always follows next if it isn't already there. So the second talking point can easily be debunked as well. So the talking point that I'm referring to is when they say, "What are you doing to address this issue?" When they ask you this question, respond by saying that we are discussing this person right now, and I was unaware that you needed my itinerary of efforts of me combating systemic oppression. Now, you guys, and this is if you want, you can list anything that you've done, but it isn't necessary because really this is a typical scapegoat response when the arguing party has no ammunition to attack you with. But anyway, continuing on, you say that these are the elites and they have the money to bring about change currently in the community. Because let's be honest, you guys, a black billionaire would have more of an impact than a regular everyday black person. I wish I could say that we have more of an impact, but we don't know how to move on a collective level just yet. So, with that being said, I will go ahead and get ready to get off here. But yeah, guys, just keep this in mind. Be cognizant of the shaming or the typical talking points. Our people will defend the dominant society willingly and without hesitation. It's sad. But again, like I said, it's just due to the conditioning that they've been through. So, you have to unfortunately be on guard sometimes even against your own, and it's just a reality we have to come to terms with. So with all that being said, make sure you guys share your thoughts on black capitalism, and if you feel as though they are partially to blame for why we haven't been able to make progress. I say partially because I do know some of it falls on us too. I get that, but the other half also seems to be dormant, and I'm talking about the dominant. I'm sorry, I'm talking about the black elites seem to be dormant on their side as well in the effort to create things like major black businesses. So that's what I'm referring to. So make sure you guys get in the comment section. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. And I will talk to you guys in the next one.